Earlier this week was Equal Pay Day. It marks the extra time the average woman has to work into a new year to earn what a man earned the year before.
Oh, each year countries around the world join this globalist leftist thing called Equal Pay Day. And they say it marks the extra time, you heard Obama say, marks the extra time a woman has to work to make as much as a man. Well, today, Ontario is proclaiming its first Equal Pay Day. The province says it's necessary to draw awareness to the gender income gap. But Sun News contributor Faith Goldie joins us from Toronto to say, we might not be comparing apples to apples here. Faith, what's the deal? What are they claiming that men make versus women? Are they comparing the same jobs? Are they saying that a fighter pilot should make the same as a grocery store clerk? What are they saying?
Well, actually, quite specifically, the reference that they make is that a child care worker, being a female, of course, should make the same amount as an OPP officer. But before we even get to that, let me just tell you kind of the headline that comes out of the Canadian Centre for Policy Alternatives. Recent report held in tandem, its release date, with this first ever Equal Pay Day in this great province. They claim that based on 2011 numbers, women make on average 33 grand per year, whereas men make 49,000 per year. That's a 31% difference. I don't know about you, but I want to burn some bras and join the rally with the troops and some slut parades, that's for sure. But look, Brian, you accurately say that they're not comparing apples to apples because they make zero differentiation between full-time and part-time jobs when it is a well-known fact that women occupy more part-time jobs than men, which...
Well, this is obviously because we're sexist, isn't it?
Well, or it could be because, I don't know, moms have mom duties to do, and also not to mention the fact that women also prefer security over risks in jobs.
Let's hold this up here right now. This is from Stats Can. 19% of women aged 25 to 44 and 20% of those aged 45 to 54 work part-time, versus around 5% of men in these groups. This study, by the way, the Red Star that reported on it, the Toronto Red Star and the Canadian Centre for Policy Alternatives, they do not tell you that they're lumping in part-time work and full-time work. I don't know. You know, I'm in management. I know a lot of what a lot of people get paid. You see things, you're involved in hiring. I don't know anyone that pays women less than men if they're doing the same job.
100%. And you know what else the Toronto Star or Red Star or whatever little cute name you want to give it also forgot to mention was that on page 1 of the CCPA's report was the name of its author, Mary Cornish, who is a self-described feminist lawyer. Not an economist, never mind the fact that she's the one who's drafting economic suggestions for our province, which, I mean, are not economically sound whatsoever, especially when they're calling for conservative estimate here, $300 million more in spending. Let's be very clear. This was a political document, not any sort of policy document that should in any way be taken seriously. But then again, it's the CCPA. Ask any source within the biz of policy production, and they'll tell you that they're not to be taken seriously. Even though
well, they are taken seriously by the media party. Look, you mentioned earlier about risk. I've looked at this before, and if someone is paying a woman less than they're paying a man for doing the same job, then that's despicable. It shouldn't be going on. But men and women gravitate towards different jobs, and one of the things that I've looked at before is delayed compensation in things like pensions. So you look at who's overrepresented in public service, public sector pensions. Women. This is from Stats Can as well. Far more women are enrolled in these public sector pension plans, which get you far more money, far more security than men. Why are they not decrying this?
Because it's not in their interest, Brian. That's why. It's absolutely ludicrous, and yet we have, I mean, in this document, they basically criticize Republicans, the Ontario Progressive Conservative Party, and the rest of it. It is so obvious, the bias here, and yet we're enshrining whole days about it. It's ridiculous.
Now, unfortunately, the province is listening, and that should worry everyone about their pocketbook. Faith, great talking to you as always, and thanks for bringing the common sense.
Thank you, Brian.